Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're ranking every defensive badge in NBA 2K21 in tiers F through S. We're going to start from the bottom, go to the top. I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. As y'all know, let's try to get 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And if you're new to the channel, I did this exact same format but with the finishing badges yesterday. So if you want to check that out, feel free to after this video. If you guys want me to do the playmaking or the shooting next, feel free to let me know as well. But anyway, we're going to get straight into this. So coming at the F tier, we have Trapper and Lightning Reflexes. Now, Lightning Reflexes, I've tried about 2 or 3 times in this current gen. I gotta say, every time that I've ran it, I haven't noticed any difference when it comes to my reaction times, the passing lanes, or anything like that. I know in the description of it, it says in the read and react system, gives like a cue for which way the ball handler is supposed to go, which is complete BS in my opinion as well. So I just find that this badge really belongs in the F tier. And then we have Trapper, where this badge actually still works, but there's not a lot of situations that it's useful for. So for instance, on 2s, you might as well just kiss this goodbye. There's no point in running Trapper. If you ever double team on 2s, somebody's going to be wide open. That's just how it is. You only have 2 defenders, so you can't double team. The other con to this badge is I feel like you need to have 2 people on your team run this, and it's got to be both the people who are trapping the point guard. And the one disclaimer I want to give with Trapper is the only level that me and my teammate have used that on, and we've done it pretty consistently, but the only level that I've used it on and seen firsthand is on Bronze, and that's all I've really seen from other comp stage people as well. So just keep in mind, it's not tested at the highest level. Maybe one day I'll try this out on Hall of Fame. Me and my teammate will both run it, and we'll just straight up double team the point guard all day and just give up easy 2s. And we'll see how it actually works, see if you get more steals or something like that. But when I get more information on that, I'll let you guys know. But currently, like I said, there's just not a lot of situations where Trapper would be viable in my opinion. So now for the E tier, we have Moving Truck, Worm, and Off-Ball Pest. So as I was talking about Trapper and how it's only useful in a couple situations and especially on certain courts, it's almost the same thing for all these badges when it comes to the E tier. So Moving Truck specifically is going to be only useful for the 1v1 court, sometimes 2s if you're going to be running into a lot of post scores, but it's not very typical that you play the post scores in the first place. You're rarely going to get back down in 2K21. I mean, and when you do, it's definitely going to be annoying. But is Moving Truck going to stop that from happening? No. So why does it even matter, alright? Like I said, the inactivity of this badge popping up is going to be the one problem for running it, and then the second one is the usefulness of it actually working and stopping people from backing you down. So then for Off-Ball Pest, I'm not denying that the badge actually works and it's going to do what you want it to do. I'm just saying there's no point in doing that. So pretty much what I mean is there's a lot of better badges out there when it comes to defensive ones. Even if you're trying to be a specialist in bumping people off ball, there's still no point in running this. Now maybe if you're somebody who hedges as a big man and you want to just bump the big when he's trying to go for the lob, that's the only thing I could recommend possibly running this on. Or if you're somebody who plays constant pro-am and you guard the corner and you have like 9 or 10 plus defensive badges, possibly run this on Bronze, but either way, pretty irrelevant badge. So then we have Worm. This one's pretty self-explanatory. I would say this only applies to the bigs out there who are taller than 7 foot. You lack the speed to get around people with your left stick, so you gotta just kind of run right into them or, you know, use the swim move, stuff like that to get around them, which can be viable if people aren't using box. But the reason I have this so low is it seems that box just cancels this badge out completely unless you have glass takeover on, but that's just glass takeover. You don't even need Worm and you're still gonna swim move people like that anyway. So again, I just feel like Worm is pretty overrated, but if you're a 7 foot plus big, I can understand why you'd run the badge. So now in the D tier, we have good old Pogo Stick. So this thing was an A tier badge all year for me last year. Sometimes it even popped into the S tier, especially early on in the game, where really last year the hands up defense contest was so awful, so the best remedy to that was the fact that Pogo Stick actually worked. So 2 ways that Pogo Stick got nerfed. One is they made hands up contests in the paint a whole lot better. Number 2 is they made the badge effectiveness actually worse, so you just jump slower pretty much compared to last year. So Pogo Stick has been nerfed. Would I recommend to still run it sometimes on 1v1 court or 2v2? Depends on how many badges you have. That's really what it comes down to. I would never run this on 3s, however. There's literally 0 point in doing that. You're just never going to get put in a situation where you need to constantly spam the jumps. The only time I will say that this is actually pretty comp is I would say maybe for Team Pro-Am if you're playing a guard who's going to be driving a lot and with a big man camping paint, because how this badge is going to help you is you're going to jump to contest the guard and then to jump again for the rebound, because if you don't have it, it might hurt you a little bit as far as trying to grab the boards while still contesting shots on the drives. So now we got post move lockdown. This badge is actually very useful for doing what you want it to do. So in my experience of using this on Hall of Fame on the 1v1 court, has been amazing as far as stopping people from doing the post spins. Now, when they get the post takeover, do not expect this badge to work. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. You are gonna get your ankles broken every single time you try to press a post score when they have the post takeover. But like I said, this badge is very good for doing what you want it to do. But the reason I have it in the D tier is there's not gonna be a lot of situations and courts that you're gonna use this on. The only one that I'd really even recommend to do it in the first place is the 1v1 court. So on the 1v1 court, this is an A tier badge. Anywhere else, F tier. There's really no point in running this. So the final badge in the D tier is going to be Tireless Defender. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is up to you guys to decide once I reveal the C tier if you think this belongs in C. I just think the badges above this are definitely more useful than itself, but it is still pretty useful for those guards out there who are fighting through screens all day. For myself, I play mostly sides every single time, so it's not going to be very often that we're burning stamina too bad because we're not just ramming into the screens and stuff like that and getting our stamina dropped so much. But either way, I can understand from everybody else's experience who's going to be playing front and back and you're trying to fight through the picks. Definitely something you could use if you're playing twos as a play sharp and you're at the one and you have a taller big man who's not going to be able to help or switch very often at all. Definitely something that you want to use if you're constantly trying to get through picks. Now, talking about getting through picks, we have Pick Dodger, and then we have Intimidator, Interceptor, and Chase Down Artist all coming into the C tier. So like I was saying, I think all four of these badges right here are definitely better than Tireless Defender. If you want to go ahead and make the argument for Pick Dodger being completely useless, I guess. I know there's a lot of people who like to use that narrative on Twitter and like in the YouTube comments talking about how Pick Dodger is useless. I disagree entirely, but like I said, in the first place, my team doesn't even do a lot of front back, so I guess I don't have the best experience on talking on that. So anyway, like I said, we got the Pick Dodger, Intimidator, Interceptor, and Chase Down Artist. We already talked about Pick Dodger, pretty much how I feel about it. I just think people kind of underrate this badge. I put it in the C tier for that reason. A lot of people would probably disagree and put it in the E or the D, maybe even some in the F. I just, maybe people are overhyping it and I'm just, you know, using the narrative on Twitter as the argument that other people make. But anyway, moving along to another badge. We have Intimidator coming at the C tier. I was thinking about putting this one in the B, but again, same thing with the whole Tireless Defender aspect for me. Just the badges above this one in the B tier are just way better than the Intimidator anyway. Honestly, the only level that I even use this anymore is going to be on Bronze. And the only reason I even do that in the first place is to see when it's even popping up and see when the badge would apply if I had it at a higher level. But either way, shot contest in this game, it's either it's super broken in the paint and it's super easy to get contests down there, or it's super hard on the perimeter and you can't get contests out there. One way or another, Intimidator doesn't help you in either aspect. That's my opinion. If you guys disagree, feel free to leave your comments. So on to the next two. We have Interceptor and Chase Down Artist. Very interesting badges. They apply to a lot of different builds. Interceptor could apply to literally anybody on the court. You could be guarding the corner with a play sharp. You could be on-ball defender, and you're trying to deny the ball handler the ball when he doesn't have it. Or you could be the big man who's playing passing lanes when you're trying to hedge up or just, you know, get on-ball passing lanes or anything like that if you double team. Then you have Chase Down Artist, where again, this applies to a lot of different builds. If you're in the corner and you get backdoored, still helps you recover. If you're on the point guard spot and you're getting ISO'd, still helps you recover. Then if you're the big man who's hedging too high, still helps you recover. But the one downside to this is that chase down blocks in general are just awful in this game. Now, if you have the badge, it increases it at a pretty good rate, I would say. And a lot of people hate on the Hall of Fame. I run this on Hall of Fame all day because I'm somebody who's playing super high, trying to get the chase down blocks if I hedge too high, or if I'm just letting the guard get past me and I'm trying to get the chase down block. Either way, I've seen this badge light up plenty of times. It's still good, but it's not like A tier like it was last year. This badge was super good early year. I will say it even got nerfed late in 2K20, but either way, still a pretty solid badge to run if you're somebody who's running on a slash lock or like a play lock, pure lock, whatever it may be. If you have Hall of Fame defensive badges in around 18 to 20, I would definitely recommend to use this on at least bronze, if not all the way up to Hall of Fame. So now for the B tier, we got Pickpocket, Defensive Leader, Rebound Chaser, and Box. So we got the two rebounding badges. We got the real sleeper badge, in my opinion, when it comes to the defensive stuff. And then we got the one that applies to the on-ball defense strictly. So let's talk about all this stuff. Pickpocket, I feel like a lot of people sleep on as well. Same way they do with Pick Dodger. They say, oh, I got 99 steal and I got Hall of Fame Pickpocket. I'm not getting steals. Listen, that's just how the game is this year, all right? These play sharps come out here and literally do whatever they want. But I've definitely seen big increases of those people who run Pickpocket versus those who don't. And if you disagree with that, feel free to let me know. Like I said, this is my list. These are my opinions and what I've experienced firsthand from me playing the game or watching the game in the first place, and the knowledge that I have of who is using the badges. So for Defensive Leader, unfortunately, I haven't had the luxury of using this badge on Hall of Fame as much as I've wanted to throughout the course of the year, whether that comes down to me running things like Hall of Fame Rebound Chaser and Box, because I feel like I need to get the rebounds. Like I said, I run Hall of Fame Chase Down Artist at all times, so give or take, I could have that trade-off of having less chase down artist for more defensive leader. Either way, whenever you're running this badge, great indication of what your opponent's 3-point percentage is, and obviously that's not the exact percentage what pops up on their screen. Somebody's out there is probably gonna be 2%, but really they could shoot like 40% from 3. Pretty much what I'm saying is it's an indication of what build they have if you weren't paying attention on the pregame intros. And then the other boost for this badge is obviously going to be the fact that your teammates get the +4 attributes on defense. Now, would I recommend using this badge at all if you're not using it on a Hall of Fame? Absolutely not. I definitely think the best thing about this is going to be the fact that you can see what your opponent's percentages and stuff are like that. And it really gives you a good indication of where you have to guard them to when it comes to the range and stuff like that too. But anyway, again, I would just recommend either Hall of Fame or nothing on this badge. If you're somebody who's running like a pure rim or a pure red, anything like that, and you got 30 defensive badges, you could probably run this, but like I said, I myself even have 30, and I've still been lacking on it and haven't consistently ran in a Hall of Fame all year. So give or take, if you're a pure red, it's something that you might want to try out and see for yourself. But anyway, so moving on to the rebounding badges, we got Rebound Chaser and Box. So let's address this just straight up. I'm gonna just say it how it is. If you're a big man, I recommend using these as high as you can because rebounding is super crucial in this game. But if you're somebody who wants to go ahead and use something like D-Leader and you want to sacrifice a little bit, I would say Box is the one that you can sacrifice a little bit, but never take either of them off anything below bronze. Now just understand, my experience from these badges come from the aspect of me having like literally 90 defensive rebound, and I'm a 6'7" pure lock, that's pure speed pie chart, so I don't even have like max vertical or anything like that either. So if you're somebody who went with the speed and vert, I feel like Rebound Chaser might even apply to you even less, where you could use this on bronze, because last year I had a slash lock who was just like that. I had great vertical for my height, and I was over here snagging with literally bronze Rebound Chaser and bronze Box. Sometimes I didn't even run any Rebound Chaser and I just had bronze Box. And that was the badge sacrifice I felt like I needed to make because I only had 20 or 21 defensive badges anyway. So like I said, I would just use these both on bronze at the very least. If you're a lockdown out there who's like 6'6" or 6'7", I would recommend to use both these on bronze as well. If you're somebody who's going to be playing the defensive aspect like me, where me and my teammate like to play sides and switch very often, and you're going to get lined up on those bigs, definitely going to be a very clutch badge for you. Or even if you're a PLAYSHARP in the corner, bronze Box is not a bad idea because sometimes they have those lockdowns who are crashing O-boards from the corner too, and you're going to have to box those dudes out, or else your big man's going to have to just out jump literally 2 or 3 people. So now for the A tier, we got Clamps, Rim Protector, and Brick Wall. All super important badges for whatever your role may be, but a lot of these only apply to one role. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, a point guard is not going to be coming out here using Brick Wall. Some bigs out here aren't using Clamps. However, I definitely use it myself because of what I was saying with how I like to switch a lot. And, you know, me as a big man, I'm switching on the ball very often. So that's something I'm going to use super often. And then for the Rim Protector, I would definitely recommend to use this no matter what your build is. If you're a point guard, use it on bronze. It definitely enables you to get way better block animations. You can literally get snatch blocks with the 6'1" PLAYSHARP as long as you use this badge on bronze. And then the higher level you use it, the more takeover progress you get as well. So for all the bigs out there who are like, you know, religious paint campers pretty much, I don't do that myself, but for anybody out there who does that stuff and you're playing the park bots who are just going to run right at you and try to dunk on you, Rim Protector is going to go crazy for you and your team. Gives you a takeover boost and gives your teammates takeover boost too. So then to finish off on my topic with the Clamps, going to be an important badge for whatever you are. Like I was saying, if you're the bigs who are stepping out a whole lot and switching very often, you're going to want that. Obviously, the lockdowns, why wouldn't you run this in the first place? That's going to be the first badge you go to of anything. And then for the point guards out there, definitely recommend to put my first 3 defensive badge points into Clamps. If you're going to be defending any sort of ISO or even screens, you're going to want Clamps. That's just about as simple as it is. The only time I wouldn't need this badge if you're running like a PLAYSHARP is if you're just constantly sitting in the corner, but that's not even guaranteed. You might have to guard pick and roll for the people who run double PLAYSHARPs on the 3v3 court, or even 2s. You might even have to guard ISO with a double PLAYSHARP. That lineup is low-key lethal, bro. I don't care what people say. That lineup is low-key nasty. So our final A tier badge, we got Brick Wall. Like I was saying, obviously it applies to a lot of the 2v2 people out there who run the PLAYSHOT Paint Beast. Even for 3v3, you need Brick Wall for the people who are going to play front back. Now, does it apply very often for the defense that I'm talking about, that I run? No, not really, because we're going to play sides no matter what. I'll probably be irritated if I found out the dude didn't have Brick Wall, though, because I just feel like it's a given that every big man runs Brick Wall. But if I were to find out that the big man we just played against didn't have Brick Wall, we were playing sides all game, I would be really irritated with myself. But pretty much what I'm saying is, every big uses it. It's just a given. Obviously, we all know that. You're going to use this to the highest level you can, whether you're somebody who doesn't have Hall of Fame defensive badges and you run it on gold, or if you're one of the thousands and hundreds of thousands of people out there who have a defensive build playing the big man spot. Obviously, using this badge as high as you can. So now, we got the S tier badge strictly at the top all by itself, Heart Crusher. If you didn't watch the video already, I made a video on what this badge does. They have not touched this at all as of like literally October as I'm speaking right now. I think it's like the 5th. And the reason I give you guys that prelude and talk about how they haven't touched this badge yet is because I feel like they really should. This thing goes crazy. So pretty much to explain how this works if you already haven't seen it. If you get a steal, the entire team is going to lose takeover progress. And I'm talking big takeover progress. So if your whole team is running this thing, it goes absolutely crazy. You cannot make a single mistake, and it really hurts all the park randoms out there. And when I say randoms, I don't mean like literally randoms. I'm talking about people who run with randoms. So if you're some like decent player out there, right, and you're playing with randoms on the threes or something like that, Lil Timmy makes a mistake and he throws a turnover. You are going cold first play of the game, just like that. And then if you have your takeover progress built up, you're about to get takeover on, and you're about to go crazy with the sharp takeover as you're a PLAYSHARP or something like that. Lil Timmy makes another mistake, boom, whole takeover progress pretty much gone, just like that. It's really a killer badge, man. And if the whole squad is running it, it's ridiculous. They've banned this badge in all Pro-Am like tournaments and all that stuff because it just ruins the whole experience for everybody. You're gonna see Snowflake take over on literally everybody, bro. It's gonna be awful. So anyway, that's all for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all good stuff. Let's try this 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. If you made it to the end of the video, put defense in the comments to show your support you made all the way through, and feel free to leave your feedback. Tell me if you think a different badge should be in the S tier, or if you think anything in the F or E or D should be higher. Anything that you would recommend to change, feel free to let me know. And if you want to give me your best badge in the game, feel free to leave that in the comments as well. Look, this is all I'm gonna say. Heart Crusher is broken, alright? This badge has got to be the most OP thing in the game. Now, is it going to be something that I recommend to use if you only had 4 defensive badge points? Not necessarily. I feel like for all 3 of these badges right here, these are more important for your role. So, let's say for the screen setting big man, brick wall is probably the most important badge you could run. For the bigs out there as well, rim protectors, super important. Clamps, as a lockdown or a point guard, still more important than Heart Crusher. But as far as the actual impact that the badge makes, this thing is just at the top. You can't convince me otherwise. If you have a different opinion, feel free to feel that. But I'm just saying Heart Crusher has got to be the most dominant badge in the game when it comes to the defensive ones. So anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, if you want to check out the slashing one, I did that yesterday. Feel free to let me know if you want to see the playmaking or shooting next. I don't have the most professional experience, if you will, but I definitely run with some really good people who have, you know, the greatest experience when it comes to the playmaking shooting badges. I've taken all the information in that they've always said as well, and it has allowed me to formulate my opinions on it. So if you want to see that next, feel free to let me know. The slashing video went crazy. I'm guessing this one's going to do really well as well. So if you want to see the playmaking and shooting, we can make that happen literally in the next 2 days. Or if y'all want to see more gameplays and stuff like that, feel free to let me know. Anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.